There is this like fearful energy rippling throughout not this collective, but in reaction to this collective, because I'm getting that like a lot of people surrounding you, surrounding me or whatever, surrounding us are getting triggered by the fact that they did not expect us to like actually evolve and change to the extent that we actually did. Like, so for example, if you were somebody who like was in a very very low point, right, and it was to the point where like you had basically everything to fix in every level in every area of your life. It's like people may have seen you, oh okay, you fix your health, okay, that's, I mean, that's, they probably didn't even believe you'd be able to do that, right? But then they thought that like, oh, there's no way that, that was already a lot, there's no way that we'll progress beyond this, right? I'm sure their personality is still the same. They still have the same like wounds on the inside and the same fears or whatever. And then maybe you like progress in your like mentality, so your personality could have shifted in along with like your health evolving or shifting or whatever. And it could be to the point where like people who are still in an insecure state that they try to keep you in could like be trying to project like, oh, you're being arrogant, you're being like full of yourself, when literally you're just like confident. And I think that people recognize this in the past when like you had bursts of confidence again in the past. And I think that the way that you show up when you are at your highest and best version of yourself is so triggering to the people around you that they like intentionally wanted to keep you and bring you down, because it's almost like they cannot stand to be in your energy. Like, it is too strong when you're in your power. So people would like project things like, oh, you're so intimidating, or oh, you're so serious, or oh, you take yourself too seriously, you're so full of yourself. And like maybe that in the past that made you feel like, oh, maybe I should change, maybe I should be more humble or whatever. And I think that that mentality led you down like a path, a really dark path, honestly. And you're like ability, you're like, you being in your power, that intimidating factor was like protecting you, and it would have protected you from a bunch of shit that happened to you when you shrunk yourself. And so now it's like you're refusing to shrink yourself, and now it is like making you the villain in a lot of people's stories, which like who cares. But it is giving that like, I'm getting that like maybe in the past you made like mistakes, or you made decisions that people made you feel like were mistakes, or you showed up in an energy that people made you feel like was bad. And like, so you thought that you had to like humble yourself or shrink yourself, or that you were a bad person, and then you manifested a lot of like negative and dark things around yourself by doubting yourself. And now you're realizing, oh well, my life is actually better the more I lean into that intimidating energy that people hated me being in so much. And that could look like, to the outside person, the more arrogant you are, like, again, adjectives, whatever, like that's just like what people may say, you're being arrogant. But it's like, it's not like inauthentic. You are just like confident and actually love yourself. And like the more you lean into an energy that makes people around you uncomfortable, it's like the happier you are and the more successful you are. And I think that you're seeing proof of this. It's giving like you may have tried a bit too hard to be, palatable. Like you wanted to be a little bunny and like unassuming, and like for everyone to just like love and adore you and think you were so cute and like, again, innocent and unassuming or whatever. And then people like, you know, I was like, here, not to put it so like vulgarly or whatever, but like, you know, they like hunted you down and like made a coat out of your precious like bunny coat or whatever, okay? When actually you are not that energy at all. You are like, I know it can be kind of corny or whatever, but just take the example, like you were actually naturally like a shark energy, and you were trying to be like a little bunny energy to make people feel better around you. And it's like now people can like feel, like, obviously you know how intimidating a shark is, like it's a shark before you even see them, because like the fin sticking out of the water, it's something like that, to where your energy right now is kind of like the fin sticking out of the water. And I don't, know what, why are people afraid of you? It's not like you're going to do anything to them, but it does still incense us, like you just like being like this. And it could be somebody to where like, okay, hold on, you could be somebody who has always had like you've been like naturally attractive, or you've always had a lot of potential, but there could be things that like external factors that like damaged your like beauty or appearance or in some way due to like insecurity or projection. So like, obviously if you like eat like shit and like you're smoking all the time, you're drinking all the time, and like you're not working out, and you don't like pay attention to your style or your skincare or whatever, then your natural essence or your natural beauty can be muted or whatever. And people could have known that. So it's something about like you revitalizing or leaning into like your natural assets that people tried to demonize in the past for some reason or another. And again, as you are doing these things that people try to like demonize in regards to like your character and your appearance and just like your intelligence, even, okay, so this could apply to like, so I don't know, this is just like randomly coming through, but say you came from like a more impoverished area or like a more rougher area or something like that, or even just like the country or whatever, um to where were always like people like would talk, I don't know, they would like accuse you of like thinking that you were better than everybody, or make fun of you for like speaking a certain way, and like, oh, who are you trying to impress, or like, oh, you know what I mean, like, oh, why are you talking like that, and like, oh, you talk like this, or you're too proper, like, who do you think you are, or whatever, why are you acting like that, it's impossible to like connect with you, or like, um you know you know what I mean, people just like making it seem like you were doing too much. And I'm getting that like as you lean into and embrace all of these natural aspects of yourself that like made people around you uncomfortable, it's like you love yourself more, your life is better, you feel better. um and like I think that people listen to their parents too much. uh it's like people trust their parents too much too. Like your family doesn't know what you need necessarily. We need to break out of that perception, like that whole like idea of like, oh, blood is thicker than water, you have to be like undyingly loyal and faithful to your family, was helpful back in the day when like your livelihood kind of depended on that community or whatever, but that's not the way that it works anymore. You're allowed to be your own person, and you don't have to like shrink yourself just to fit into the community that you grew up within, because you can easily just lock in and join a different community that's more naturally like meant for you. I'm next to this school bus that says like Raphael on it, so Archangel Raphael may be significant for somebody. But I'm just getting that like there's you need to, like, so if you have trouble understanding like, why do I feel so unsatisfied with my life, why do I feel so incomplete, like why do I feel so empty, this is not whatever, think about the things that people in the past have like told you, like, or criticized you for, right? And or like said, oh, you're doing too much, or like, oh, you shouldn't do that, or you shouldn't be like this, or oh, you need to change this, or you need to change that, or whatever, or like, oh, this is off-putting or whatever. And you need to like lock back into those natural traits that you have, because you had them for a reason. And you have to stop like sticking so strictly to like the morals and values that other people are projecting upon you, and like figure out what is actually authentic to you, and what is actually like how you actually feel and how you actually want to move throughout the world. Obviously don't go around like, this is not applying to you if you're like literally like you want to hurt people, obviously, or yourself, obviously. But if you have no, obviously you have no intention to harm other people, and you have no intention to harm yourself, and you just want to live your life authentically, and the way that you want to live your life authentically repels certain people, please let those people be repelled from your life. They don't belong there anyway. I think that you will be far happier and almost like energetically safer if you just show up in a way that feels natural to you and stop worrying so much about how other people are going to receive you. I will tell you, as somebody who at a certain point, like, I don't know, especially if you're younger or whatever, uh, again, always pay attention to your safety or whatever, but like, it's not the end of the world if like your peers don't like you, because I will tell you from experience, a lot of the people that like care that much and criticize you and everything, and like try to change you or try to like influence you due to peer pressure, especially at a younger age, they fall off very early in life, and like they're not somebody who you need to idolize or envy in any way, because their lives don't progress in any way, because they're so constrained by their own self limitations, and they're probably just like intimidated by you because they can even like spiritually feel your potential and that you are going to outdo them all if you just show up authentically and be like the star that you're meant to be. Okay?